What's up, everyone? Today we're back with another breakdown of an epic fight in Warrior. This time it's Ah Sahm versus Bolo. As usual, we love to hear the sound of our own voices, so we're going to give the backstory leading up to the fight. But if you're sick of hearing us and just want to skip to the fight commentary, we've broken this video down into sections, so just click right there. Now, to me, this is the first real boss battle in Warrior. Prior to Ah Sahm's arrival, Bolo, aka the Yellow Demon, was the top hatchetman for the Hop Way. Bolo dislikes Ah Sahm immediately, and the two almost get into a fight in the very first episode.
Nah, I don't think so.
I'm guessing they don't pay you to do the thinking.
Fucked you say?
This fucking onion's itchy. I like it. I like it.
Ultimately, Bolo doesn't seem impressed when everyone touts Ah Sahm's fighting abilities, and it's clear he wants to test Ah Sahm's true prowess by himself.
One of these days, you and I should go a few rounds. See what's what.
Fight the Yellow Demon. Do I look crazy?
For the rest of you who are still with us, let's get going. The backstory of the fight is pretty simple. It all starts during the Chinatown parade where the Longzi make an attempt on Father Jun's life by trying to blow him up. Even though the actual act was carried out by the Feng Hai, the Longzi and Mai Ling specifically were the ones pulling the strings. Father Jun survives, and now it's time for revenge. Mai Ling and Longzi go into hiding because the Hop Way are out to kill them. Now, at this point, nobody in the Hop Way is aware that Mai Ling is Ah Sahm's sister, so they don't realize that Ah Sahm isn't going to let them assassinate Mai Ling. One night at Ah Toys, Young Jun ends up spilling the beans to Ah Sahm. Although the information was supposed to be top secret, Young Jun ends up divulging that Father Jun has figured out the location of Longzi's Safehouse, which is somewhere on the outskirts of Chinatown. Bolo is currently on his way to kill them right now. This news sends Ah Sahm into a frenzy, and he takes off trying to save his sister's life. Ah Sahm initially doesn't know where the safe house is, but through one of Ah Toy's girls, he gets the necessary information and sets off. It's now a race against time. Let's take a break here and discuss the backstory real quick.
If you've seen the entirety of the first two seasons, we know that Ah Sahm and the Hop Way don't have a falling out, but there are these like small cracks in the foundation between the trust that Ah Sahm and Young Jun have for each other. This seems to me to be like one of the first real cracks that sort of fractures between the two. We know that Bolo is super formidable, but Ah Sahm's been a cut above for a little bit now, so it's going to be a pretty action-packed fight scene. A lot of heavy hitting blows here. Good things happen when you keep yourself closely aligned to Ah Toy, and Ah Sahm follows this pattern really throughout seasons 1 and 2. You're definitely going to see more of it in season 3 if you stay tuned. One kind of little background information piece here. Mai Ling and Longzi are both hiding out at the safe house, and their relationship seems kind of odd because of the circumstances surrounding it. The age gap definitely pops up, and then when you consider the fact that Mai Ling goes through a ton of trauma related to her forced marital situation earlier in life, before she actually comes to America and ends up here, gives us a lot of questions surrounding the relationship between these two in general. If you want to keep watching and read more on that, I would encourage you to watch the rest of the episode after this fight goes down.
All right, let's get into this breakdown. Starting with Bolo arriving at the safe house, he quickly guts a few Longzi guards. Meanwhile, Ah Sahm is scrambling to get there in time. We then see Mai Ling in bed with Longzi, and her spidey senses start tingling. She wakes up in the middle of the night sensing danger. Longzi is completely clueless, which kind of shows how washed up he is now. He's no longer sharp enough for this game. Anyways, Mai Ling grabs a knife and heads downstairs, and at first, she sees a Longzi member and asks, "What happened?" But it's soon revealed that he's actually dead and Bolo was holding him up. Very dramatic and theatrical. I like Bolo's style. Bolo then introduces himself with a sinister, "Hey, Mai Ling," and it's on.
Hey, Mai Ling.
Mai Ling swings the knife at Bolo, but he just smacks her in the mouth and stomps her into the wall. Bolo pulls out his hatchet and goes for the kill, but Mai Ling dodges it and smashes a vase over his head. Hey, we can see that speed and reflexes run in the family with Ah Sahm and Mai Ling. However, Bolo is indeed the Yellow Demon, so he's relatively unfazed and catches Mai Ling by her hair and pins her against the wall. Now, at this point, Bolo could simply kill Mai Ling with a hatchet strike, but our man is dramatic and he wants to savor this kill, so he lodges the hatchet in the wall next to Mai Ling's head and slowly starts choking the life out of her. Bolo is literally lifting her off the ground and just whispering psychotic things like, "Yeah, go to sleep."
There you go. Go to sleep.
The look on Bolo's face is one of pure evil intent. Shout out to Rich Ting, man. He was awesome in the role of Bolo, and I think the writers fucked up by killing him off so early. As Ah Ling is moments away from death, Ah Sahm arrives and drops Bolo with a flying kick. He checks on Ah Ling and sees that she's barely alive. Bolo is completely bewildered. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
What the fuck are you doing?
Ah Sahm tells Bolo that he can do whatever he wants to Longzi, but Ah Ling has to live. Bolo says that Father Jun gave the order for both of them, but Ah Sahm says no. This greatly confuses Bolo, and I just love the response that he gives.
No? What the hell do you mean, no? What's wrong with you? Get the fuck out of my way.
Ah Sahm then says that Bolo will have to go through him to get to Ah Ling. Bolo, of course, has no problem with this. It's clear that this won't be settled by mere words, so both men start getting ready to fight.
You know, I always knew there was something off about you.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know what your deal is, but that won't make this any less fun.
And now we're finally here. Let's regroup before going into this fight and breaking it down into the typical fashion that we do. Now is also a good time to plug the breakdown we did of Ah Sahm versus Yong. So if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. Link is in the description. And one more thing, I'm not going to do the strike count that I did for Ah Sahm versus Yong because this fight is like way different. It's not really a boxing match. It's more of just a fucking dirty street brawl. So no strike count for this one.
Bolo, you fucked up, man. You should have just gotten it over with when you could. Now we have a battle with Ah Sahm on the horizon here. A cool little what if or butterfly effect you could consider is if Ah Sahm doesn't actually foil this original kill of Ah Ling here, does Father Jun actually end up in enough hot water with the Longzi kind of surviving through Ah Ling? Then the opium deals fall through and the pressure mounts in season 2. Does he actually end up getting kicked out as leader of the Tong and replaced with Young Jun? Not sure, probably not, but there's definitely an argument to be made that Ah Sahm does more harm than good with some of the actions that he carries out.
All right, round one begins. Bolo starts off the fight with some trickery, first faking a strike at Ah Sahm and immediately grabs the hatchet that's stuck in the wall and swings for Ah Sam's head. Ah Sahm dodges and pulls out a hatchet of his own and swings at Bolo, but Bolo blocks it and counters with a spinning kick that connects with Ah Sam's head. Bolo then throws another kick at Ah Sahm, which is somewhat blocked, and he follows that up with another home run swing at Ah Sam's head. Ah Sahm deflects the swing with his own hatchet and hits Bolo with a spinning elbow, sending him to the ground. This fight is obviously to the death as Ah Sahm immediately pounces on Bolo with a hatchet swing that would have turned his skull into fucking Fruit Ninja. Bolo blocks the strike at the last second, and as Ah Sahm tries to use his positional advantage to force his hatchet through Bolo's defense, Bolo manages to use momentum and deflects Ah Sam's hatchet into the ground where it gets stuck. Bolo then kicks Ah Sahm off of him and both fighters reset. These guys are straight up psychos just fighting like this with hatchets, true warriors and gangsters at the same time. Bolo still has his hatchet, but Ah Sam's hatchet is now stuck in the ground. Before they re-engage, let's take a break.
I'm going to sit on the fence here. Round 1 is going to be an even score for my scorecard. Ah Sahm with more control of the interplay, but Bolo does disarm him toward the end. Do we score it like a joust? 1 point for a hit with a weapon, 1 point for disarming? Is it more like fencing? I don't fucking know. Let's just roll with it. It's very clear that Bolo is a true hatchet man, down for whatever it takes. If you pay close attention, you notice that his strikes take a wider gate than a lot of Ah Sam's do. This could come into play later on if the setting was to shift. You notice that Ah Sahm takes him on without a weapon towards the end after he's disarmed. Seems like a huge disadvantage.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Despite the obvious danger, smart money says that Ah Sam's still probably going to stunt on Bolo, like Vegeta when he had enough a second version of Cell in DBZ.
Okay, we're now on to round 2. This exchange is fucking crazy. Buckle up. Bolo lets out a primal roar and swings the hatchet at Ah Sahm again, but Ah Sahm ducks the strike and lands 2 lightning-fast punches to Bolo's face. Bolo swings again and Ah Sahm dodges it and lands another 2 strikes, one to the stomach and another to the face. Bolo resets and swings at Ah Sahm several times, but Ah Sahm blocks the first strike by connecting with Bolo's right arm to first stop the momentum of the hatchet, then blocks Bolo's left-hand strike and dodges Bolo's follow-up hatchet swing. This is some Matrix level shit. Ah Sahm even connects with the stomach kick on his own, which creates some space. Ah Sahm throws some strikes, which all get blocked by Bolo, and Bolo lands a back fist to Ah Sam's stomach. Ah Sahm keeps dodging Bolo's hatchet swings, but Bolo connects with a kick and a sweep that sends Ah Sahm to the ground. Oh shit. Remember, all Bolo has to do is connect once with the hatchet, and it's game over for Ah Sahm. Assam rolls to avoid a Bolo back heel, then he deflects another Bolo hatchet swing with an accurate kick. Easily could have lost his foot there if he even missed slightly. Bolo lands a square kick to send Assam into the wall, but as he unleashes another home run hatchet swing, Assam dodges it and the hatchet gets lodged on the windowsill. Assam then grabs Bolo's arm to get ready to break it, but Bolo pulls Assam up and knees him twice before tossing him like a rag doll into the shelves against the wall. Obviously, this is a non-stop fight to the death, but let's just take a break and regroup. Let's call that round 2.
The official scorecard says round 2 goes to Bolo with a slight advantage. You can tell that he uses his power for sure. Those kicks, those axe swings would be incredible finishing moves in a Mortal Kombat rendition of Warrior. I would for sure pre-order that shit. Assam's the quicker and more agile fighter. You can see him getting those little strikes off. It's just a question of, can he hold out long enough before he gets a finishing blow actually put on him. If you put any money on Bolo, you took him with the odds to cover, one thing that should concern anybody is that he's swinging like it's a goddamn home run derby out there. Sure, the kill shot is awesome, but you're sort of abandoning any other way of winning in the process. Bolo ain't going to win the batting title anytime soon here. On to round 3.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Okay, back to the brawl. It's now round 3. I'm a bit surprised that Bolo didn't try to charge Assam on the ground, but perhaps he's a bit worried about getting caught by a kick. Anyways, Assam gets back up and Bolo lands an uppercut and a kick right away, sending Assam into the wall. Bolo sends a powerful left leg kick towards Assam that gets blocked, but Bolo's strength still sends Assam through the doorway. Now we're in close combat, so the entire physics of the fight changes. Bolo follows Assam through the doorway and sends a variety of kicks and elbows which get blocked, and Assam hits Bolo in the face with a backhand, but Bolo counters with a strike to Assam's face and a powerful stomp to the stomach. The fight now moves to the hallway, but let's take a break before the hallway exchange.
Taking a look at the scorecard, and it is once again another narrow victory for Bolo in these intermediate rounds here. We might have to put Assam on upset alert. I don't know. You got to show me something, man. Come on. But the fact that it's still season 1 and Assam is our central character hints that plot armor might reign supreme in this situation, especially with that big change of scenery that we're seeing. The hallway is going to reduce the range of motion available for Bolo's kicks and hatchet swings, but Assam, much less room, much more efficient fighter, more polished. And as we mentioned in previous videos, he's emulating that Bruce Lee style more and more as he goes through this first season here. He is disciplined in that quick strike game. Watch out for that.
Now we're on to round 4. Bolo opens up the hallway with another powerful kick that Assam dodges. The two of them grapple for a bit, slamming each other into the walls and trying to gain leverage. Assam keeps grabbing at Bolo's arm, a foreshadowing of what's to come. Assam manages to throw Bolo to the ground, but before he can capitalize, Bolo lands a shin kick and a kick to Assam's head. It's not enough to stop Assam though, and he lands another elbow to Bolo's midsection. He breaks up a Bolo strike with a two-handed hammer fist and then hits Bolo in the side of the ear with another elbow. Assam is heating up right now. Assam shoves Bolo against the wall, but Bolo breaks free and punches Assam in the face. Bolo is getting tired and he throws another right hook that is easily read by Assam. Assam parries it and flips Bolo to the ground. Bolo does a nifty kick while on the ground to block an Assam strike, but then he makes a fatal mistake. He throws a half-hearted punch at Assam's legs while he's still on the ground. Like seriously man, even if this connected, what would it do? Now am I a fight expert? No, but shit man, that was a bad idea. And we soon see why. Assam easily blocks the weak-ass punch, and as Bolo reaches for the hatchet, Assam breaks Bolo's upper arm with his knee. Once Bolo missed that punch, he was in horrible position lying face down with zero leverage. The crunching sound is sickening, and I'm sure Bolo's shoulder is torn up as well. Bolo is screaming in pain, but Jesus Christ, this guy is tough as fuck. He still grabs the hatchet, it gets on his feet, and takes a swing at Assam. This fight is obviously over, but let's take a break.
Yeah, Assam with the triumphant finish. The bone crack was certainly an off-putting but badass creative choice. And like you mentioned earlier, the hallway kind of decides it, right? Bolo was solid, but like you said, man, I'm sorry they killed him off so soon. Like, great hatchet and kick game, just not super well-rounded, but he has some style points and that maniacal grin to go along with it. Maybe a testament to the fact that he's been with the Tong for a minute and has primarily adopted a primal like hatchet man fighting style over all else for the polished fight game that Assam really trained himself up on when he was younger. Either way, kind of a crazy finish. Sorry to see you go, Bolo, but it just had to be that way.
All right, final round, I guess. Well, the fight's pretty much over, but Bolo has a mangled left arm, and Assam is standing there like, come on, bro, just give it up, it's over. Bolo doesn't care and swings again, which Ah Sahm stops by kicking him in the face before the swing can get any momentum. And Ah Sahm follows that up with a spinning kick, which sends Bolo through the doorway right into Mai Ling's knife. What the hell? Mai Ling then finishes Bolo off with a downward stab to his upper shoulder / neck. Somehow Mai Ling comes in and gets the credit for the kill. What a fucking scavenger. What'd you think about that, Damon?
This is one of many examples of Mai Ling just being in the right place at the right time with the right circumstances. Keep on watching this season and you'll see plenty more of that, I guarantee it. She kind of has a knack for it. Like we mentioned before, this is probably the first boss fight for Ah Sahm. I'm not going to count that immigration officer he whipped because that was just sad.
Yeah, that fight was an absolute joke. This is the first time we've seen Ah Sahm actually challenged, and he came out on top. Although Mai Ling stole the kill, so does the victory go to Mai Ling? Just kidding, it goes to Ah Sahm. Anyways, Bolo was a great warrior, but his time had to end. As usual, thanks to everyone who tunes in and watches our videos. We're extremely grateful to be building this community. We still got more warrior fights to break down, but season 3 is on the horizon, so lots more content to come. Catch y'all later.